Well, hello my dear friends. I hope that all of you are safe and sound wherever you are, and most importantly healthy. So guys, today I am going to talk about RESPs. Guys, that is one major thing which we have been thinking from the day we landed in Canada, and there are so many things in it. I will be covering all of that in this particular video. So today's video is going to be really informational. I will be explaining it to the best of my knowledge. I'll be sharing my screen. There are a lot of calculations that I've done. I'll be sharing all of that with you in this particular video. So today's session is going to be very informational. Make sure you watch the entire video till the very end, and at the end of this video I'll also tell you what strategy Sim and I are following for our kids RESP. So guys, stay tuned, and now without further ado, let's directly go to my computer where I'll be sharing my screen. See you after that. The first type of RESP, which is the most basic type, is called as individual RESP. In this type of RESP, consider it to be a pie. So one child gets an entire pie for himself. So whatever amount is accumulated in that individual RESP belongs to one child only. So if a family has got multiple children, each child will have his or her own individual RESP, and whatever amount is accumulated in it will be used by that child only. There are few key points, and they are: it can be opened by anyone, for anyone. It is not necessary for the subscriber and the beneficiary. That means the person who is opening the RESP, subscriber, and the person who is using the RESP, which is the beneficiary, the kid. They may or may not be related to each other by blood or by adoption, which means uncle or aunties can open RESPs for their niece, nephews. Cousins can open RESP for their cousins. Similarly, the rules for maximum contribution remains the same. It is $50,000 per child, and one key point to note here is that there should be only one active beneficiary at all times. This is because it's an individual RESP. It is highly recommended for families which have a single child, or even if there are multiple children, and if the children have age gap of considerable years, then it is recommended for them as well. It is highly recommended for those subscribers who want to set up an RESP for themselves or for someone they are not related to but are willing to contribute for their education. However, there are few problems related to individual RESP. They are: since this RESP is for one child only, the assets cannot be shared. Say for an example, there is a family with two kids. The first child decides to go for a higher education, and the amount in his individual RESP does not suffice for his higher education. In this case, he cannot share the RESP of his sibling for his own education. So that means the child is restricted to use the assets of his RESP only. Assets cannot be shared. Second condition is that if a beneficiary decides not to pursue post-secondary education, then there are certain complications, like the government will take back their grants, there will be potential tax consequences, and many other things. However, there are few points which we will discuss in a separate video altogether: what to do and how to take the money out of RESP. We will talk about it at a later date. So guys, as we saw in individual RESP that the RESP assets cannot be shared among siblings. In order to solve that, we have something called as family RESP. Rather than having individual pie for each kid, why not have a big pie for all the children in the family? This way, a single RESP has to be maintained, and all the beneficiaries, all the children in the family, can utilize it as per their higher education needs. There are few key points related to this, and they are: there can be multiple beneficiaries, and each beneficiary must be related by blood or by adoption to the subscriber. Guys, this is different from individual RESP because in individual RESP it can be opened by anyone, for anyone. However, in case of a family RESP, it has to be opened only for the kid who is either related to you by blood or by adoption. Having said that, parents can open RESP for their kids, grandparents can open RESP for their grandchildren. You have better control over your investments. Guys, I will be talking about this when we see the third type of RESP, which is group RESP. We will look at this at that point in time, and the maximum contribution is $50,000 per child, which means if a family has got 3 children, then the maximum contribution is $150,000 for a lifetime of that RESP. You can add beneficiaries at any point in time, as and when you have a new baby in the house. Rather than opening a new RESP at that point in time, you can simply add the new kid to the existing family RESP, and the contribution limit will increase accordingly. It is highly recommended for young families and families with multiple children, or families who are planning to have more kids in the future, but they want to start planning from today itself to build a better portfolio. It is highly recommended for them as well. It is also highly recommended for families who want to make optimum use by sharing the RESP assets among their kids. Families who want to participate actively in investing for their kids' higher education, because in family RESP, the subscriber, the parent, has got better control over the investments as compared to a group RESP. Guys, now coming to the last type of RESP, which is called as group RESP. It is similar to the family RESP. As you saw in family RESP, we have a big pie which is shared among all the kids in the family. In group RESP, we have a much bigger pie for multiple families. It is also called as scholarship trusts or pooled plans, and they are only and only sold by scholarship plan dealers. You cannot get group RESP through banks or any other financial institutes. If you want to open a group RESP, you have to contact a scholarship plan dealer only. Group RESP looks something like this. There are multiple families involved who will contribute diligently over a course of time to a common pooled RESP, as it is known. When their kid goes to university or attains higher education, that is the time when they will get money from this pool for their kids' higher education. Guys, there are many problems associated with a group RESP. We will look at them one by one in detail. The first problem is committing to a long-term contribution schedule. Guys, as there are many families involved and each family is contributing to a common shared pool, it is expected that you also commit to a long-term contribution schedule and you make your payments on time diligently. The second is hefty fees. Since this is managed by a scholarship plan dealer, they will obviously have their sales charge, their administration charge, their fees, etc., which accounts to around 9.5% of the total investment value, and that is taken upfront. The investor may feel that he has contributed 100%, but in reality only 90.5% gets invested. The remaining is the fees, and since they are taking it upfront, which means the day you sign up for the group RESP, whatever money you invest, it will first go towards the fees, and once that is over, it will get invested. So essentially the investor is losing a major portion of the profit because of power of compounding. Now, once the student enrolls in a post-secondary education, the fees are paid from the group RESP. It is an obvious fact that it has to happen that way. But what if the student does not enroll in a post-secondary program, or if the student enrolls in a program that is related to a life skill? So, will the student get the money? This is something that you need to check out in the prospectus before signing up with the group RESP. It is expected to pay your contributions as well as the government grants. Guys, in many of my RESP videos, I have mentioned about CESG, which means whatever you contribute, government will give 20% up to a maximum of $500 as a grant to you. You have to pay your contribution, but at the same time, it is expected that you will pay the CESG grant also to the group RESP. Since there are many families involved, individual family does not get to choose what happens with their fund and how the fund gets invested and nothing. It is all managed by a scholarship plan dealer. Finally, the most major problem with RESP, group RESP, is that the investor loses a major part or 100% of his contribution if they are not able to make up their contributions on time, or if they choose to leave midway. Guys, now I spoke about fees taken upfront. Now, what does that exactly mean? Let's see it in this graph. Now consider an individual or a family RESP and the numbers of years you are investing is 17. So this is the graph. As you can see, the green part is your deposit and the interest is the orange part. So you are starting from 0 and from year 1 onwards, whatever deposit you see, it is getting invested over a period of 17 years. So you will get optimum benefits as the money is invested for a longer time. But in a group RESP, the total number of years is 15. This is because the initial 2 years are gone in paying the fees. So as you can see, for the initial 2 years, you don't see any growth happening with the deposits that you have done. You see the growth happening from 3rd year onwards, and essentially over a period of 17 years, you see the growth is very less. Look at the orange part between the two. So you are at loss because you start getting benefits from the 3rd year, but you are contributing from the 1st year itself. The 2 years are gone. If we have to put a number to it, assume that you are investing $1,000 annually, which includes your contribution plus government grants, and let us assume the annual interest rate to be 3%. So with individual or family RESP, you are investing for 17 years, and this is the value that you get approximately. But with group RESP, you are paying only for 15 years, 2 years are gone in paying the fees. So effectively, this is the future value that you get. Now, if you look at the difference, 8,500 is the difference at 3% rate of interest, plus you had paid the fees upfront. The total loss you can see is $13,250. However, there are few benefits of group RESP as well, which we will discuss right now. The first one is that it ensures discipline among the investor, as not contributing on time may lead to losing the entire amount. So you definitely don't want to risk that. Secondly, if other investors leave or are not able to pay their contributions on time, you may receive a share of their earning also. And finally, if you are unsure how to invest, let someone else do it who will take care of your investment decisions. So now that we have seen individual, family and group RESP, let's summarize all of them. As you can see, as far as flexibility is concerned, individual RESP is very flexible, same as family RESP, but group RESPs are not flexible. Charges, there are less charges depending on what portfolio you buy, same for individual and family, but for group RESP, there are upfront charges as we saw. Asset sharing is not possible as far as individual RESPs are concerned, but in family and group RESPs, asset sharing takes place. The investment decision maker is the investor himself as far as individual and family RESP is concerned, but it is the scholarship plan dealer as far as group RESP are concerned. In group RESP, the investor has got no authority whatsoever as far as the decision making is concerned. Penalty on not making any regular contributions are none in case of individual or family RESP, depending on what portfolio and what instruments you have invested into. But as far as group RESP is concerned, there is a high penalty when you miss your regular contributions. So friends, now that we have seen individual RESP, family RESP and group RESP, now coming to the point where we will be telling you what strategy we have chosen for our kids' education. So guys, to be honest with you, I was contacted by group RESP providers and I really liked their plans, but these conditions of group RESP, which I already spoke about, didn't really go well with us. First of all, I want financial flexibility. Guys, COVID-19 has taught us a lot of things. We have seen a lot of uncertainties, and one thing is clear, that financial uncertainty can happen to anyone at any point of time in life. Having said that, from my investment expectation, I want a money instrument which will be flexible enough, meaning if I have got surplus money, I will invest. But if I'm short on cash, I would want the opportunity that I don't invest, but my money still remains safe. My already ongoing investments remain safe. I should not be penalized for not contributing or for not making my payments on time. So I want that kind of flexibility. Second, the way the group RESP guys take their sales charges, fees upfront. Guys, this is something which is keeping the investors at loss. Guys, because of power of compounding, we already know that the earlier you start, the better you are. And the fees and everything is taken at the early stages. So because of power of compounding, if you look at the very end, the loss is significant. That is another thing that I didn't like about group RESPs. And guys, the third thing is, as far as my investments are concerned, I would appreciate if I am given the authority to decide what happens with my investment. I should be given the flexibility to change money instrument, to change my plans, to move into a different direction altogether as far as my investments are concerned. So basically, I should have that responsibility since I am making the investment. But in group RESP, since there are multiple families involved, individual investors don't have any authority over their money. So basically, all their job is to give the money, and they are at the mercy of the RESP provider, the group RESP provider, how they invest their money, right? Guys, having said that, we have removed group RESP from our investment option. Now we are left with either individual RESP or family RESP. Guys, when we came to Canada in 2018, we did not have RESP for 2 years. Back in 2020, we wanted to start RESP for Arman, but at the same time, we were planning to have a second kid somewhere in the future. We were not actively planning as such, but yes, we wanted to have a second kid in future. So we were looking out for an option which will allow us to start RESP for Arman, but at the same time, the day our second baby is born, we did not want our second baby to lose any of the benefits of investing over a longer period of time through RESP. And guys, family RESP was a perfect fit for us. So what we did is, back in 2020, we started RESP, a family RESP in the name of Arman. And the day Amy was born, we just added Amy's name to Arman's family RESP. So the family RESP remains the same. All the investments is intact. Instead of one beneficiary, now there will be two beneficiaries to it. Say for example, after 2 years, if we have our third kid, all we have to do is add the third baby's name as a beneficiary to the existing family RESP. So the investment that is happening in the family RESP has been happening from last many years before the birth of third baby. So the investments have already grown in size. The investments have already matured enough to a decent value from its principal amount. So the point I want to make here is, if you are uncertain and if you want to have more kids in future, then opt for a family RESP. Guys, and one more important thing about family RESP which we like the most and which made us choose family RESP over group and individual RESP was the fact that the investment assets can be shared among siblings. Guys, as we already saw that in individual RESP, if the kid does not want to go for higher education, then the government will take back their grants and the family will have to take back their money and they will be taxed on that money. So guys, there are a lot of complications going on as far as individual RESP is concerned. But in case of a family RESP, consider that there are multiple kids and one of the kid does not go for higher education. So the remaining siblings can share the family RESP assets among themselves. So in this way, the chances that the government will take back their grants are less and the complications are also less. Yes, but again, if all the kids in a family RESP decide that they don't want to go for higher education, then yes, then the government will take back their grants. But given the situation, we thought that family RESP will be much more suited for our family than having individual RESP for each of the kids. So we have chosen family RESP. Guys, with this I end this particular video. I hope you all like the contents of it, and do let me know in the comment section which RESP you like the most, whether it is individual RESP, family RESP and group RESP. Do write us down. And guys, you know what to do. You have to subscribe to the channel, you have to like the video, and don't forget to share it with your friends, family and relatives for whom this will be useful. So guys, with this I say goodbye, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.